It's so late, it's early show with Lance Svendsen. I, of course, am Lance Svendsen.
Hi.
So glad you guys are here. Hey, Sam. We have our interesting color man over here. Guy who adds Andy Richter type character, Joe Narciso.
Hey.
There he is.
I am Foxwell.
Did everyone have a good week this week? Yeah? I know a lot of us had an amazing week, so I assume everyone else had a very good week. So we got, well, let's see, there's a big week in the news in general.
Big week in the news.
Big week, yeah.
Big week.
A lot of stuff happened. I gotta admit, I'm a little nervous up here, just being in front of everyone. I really hope that I don't pull Harry Styles.
Oh!
Throw him on stage.
Oh!
Blow?
Just say that.
Harry Styles threw up on stage during a performance. He was really nervous.
If I
He was off stage.
if I
He
were
threw up off the stage onto stage. Oh, you heard it here first. I didn't know that.
if I were the Swedes, I would leave right now.
So I haven't heard. Is he okay? I've been worried sick since we went to camp. Is he okay? Okay, good. Oh, he's fine.
I thought he was at camp. I thought Harry Styles was at camp. Isn't there a guy?
So Justin Bieber's in the news again. But come on, who cares, right? He was last year's thing, nobody really cares. Anyway, so in local and actual relevant news to you guys, this is our first week of our Elevate summer calendar. You guys excited for that? We have like 7, 8, 9 different events or something like that. We have our summer calendar. You can grab a copy right behind that tall drink of water, Pat McDonald, over there later on. This is the first week on Wednesday. We'll be meeting at 6:30 at Gravity Vault, which is right down the road.
Caitlin Thompson just walked in.
Oh, there's Caitlin. She got the Adorable Newbie Award at camp. Yes, she did. So we rock climbing at Gravity Vault. It's a great time for fellowship, to work out the arm muscles and to see which ones of your friends will panic when they get just slightly too high. Yeah? It's always Joe.
It's usually me.
Kara's also very good at rock climbing. She gets about 3 things up and then just starts yelling, "Stop encouraging me! Stop encouraging me!" as her arms start shaking. So you can find out more details about that and any other of our events through our Facebook page, Elevate NJ, so make sure you're checking out all that stuff. So if you're new in the room today, or if you're not on our email list, go check out Sarah. Sarah's right back there in the white. Make sure you get on the email list, and also, she has a free gift for you guys, which is really good. Spoiler alert, it's free pizza. Yeah, so even if you have already gotten that gift, try again. We have extras. So, it's been quite a week, huh?
Awesome week.
Quite a week. Do you have a good week?
I had a phenomenal week.
Yeah?
It was great.
So for the second year in a row, we now went to a camp called NTS, or Never the Same.
Never the same.
Never the Same. Very, very great camp. So all week, I think you guys noticed, we were wearing red, a lot of red. You may have seen that in every single photo. There was a lot of red. The great thing about being in youth ministry is that you can wear cape and face paint and high socks and whatever you want. And I didn't wear lipstick, but nobody will question it in youth ministry. People just accept it.
You can be a 12-year-old boy, right? And a high schooler can come up, a college
student came up to someone.
Come up to you and go, "What's on your face?" You know, lipstick.
I just go, but Foxwell looked great that day. I'm Foxwell. So at the camp, we were split up into 4 separate teams, and the teams are supposed to be equal. We're supposed to look at the teams and say, okay, well these kids have so many, X amount of high school boys that are strong and
college juniors.
Yeah. So, but I think there's many of us that would disagree. Some of those kids did look a little bit older than high school. Would anyone else agree with me?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that the yellow team was older, but I was talking to some of the grandkids in the stands, and they wouldn't comment on this stuff. But you can imagine. Yeah, thank you. So, as many of you know, we went to upstate New York, 6 hours north, to a place called Houghton. If you haven't heard of it, I'm not surprised. Super small. They have 1 pizza place. Can you believe that? 1. Yeah.
But
One restaurant in general.
One restaurant,
Yeah,
but 5 tractor fixing places.
Supply and demand, I guess. Right? So it's never really a question to the girl if you're going on a date, like, where are you going to go? How about to the one restaurant in town? Or the cafeteria at school.
Or the tractor fixing place.
Yeah, but Home's not all bad. It's actually located on a beautiful mountaintop.
Yeah.
So we very, very scenic. What's that? They did have good pizza, yep. And so a lot of people, I'm sure you guys that went to camp will know, a lot of people were complaining that there was a lot of hills, that there was maybe too many hills here. But my Sherpa, he totally disagreed. So he was fine with it, so Figured if he's okay, that is a good one. I like that one. This feels like a good vibe we got going. All right. And really, I only got 2 nosebleeds from the altitude change, so not that bad. It's a good calf workout all week.
Our color was red anyway, so.
Yeah, so when it drips on your shirt.
Yeah, you're looking good.
We had a couple of kids bleeding this week, not just from nosebleeds. They had some weird rules at camp. You guys also noticed this? The weirdest one I thought was the ticket system to eat.
Yeah.
It was very, very odd.
Yeah, they hand you a ticket for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, like where I am, and then you have to hand it to somebody standing where Lance is, and they can see it.
And they watch you like a hawk the entire time. So you get it.
You get the ticket, and you walk over, and you're like,
there you
here.
go. Okay, thanks.
And you're already wearing this wristband.
That bracelet, yeah. And I never know how to react during that time either. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what would be a better system? Anything else. That would be a better system. So who knows? So we got that and more inside camp jokes to come. But, guys, seriously, we have a great show for you tonight. We have some amazing guests. Many of you guys will recognize these guests, so we're excited that we have them. And we have an Elevate World premiere video of covert dancing. Yeah, so you probably heard. This is the Christian camp trend that's been sweeping the nation. So it's very exciting. Now please, get to your feet and welcome the Elevate Worship Band. Awesome. That was so much fun. We have fun wherever we go, don't we?
You know what's the best part of that whole thing to me is we have no idea what we're going to do when we get on the bus.
Yeah.
And then we sit down like an hour into it and we go, all right, what song should we do?
Yeah, that's how it started.
We have no moves pre-planned. We don't know who's going to be in it.
You mean we didn't have this rehearsed? I don't believe it.
Great job, Kara.
Yeah, Kara organized all that. That's obviously dubbed over, but in it you can hear Kara going straight, right, left. It was very, very good. So that was so much fun. Why don't we bring out Samantha right now to start us off?
Let's bring out
Samantha, our sister, everybody.
As I fall down,
Sam was one of
call
the
your
stars of
father.
that video. Hi, welcome.
Charger.
Yeah, it was good.
Thanks, Jeff.
It's going good. So, besides Micah, who is one of the stars of that, Micah, could you get up and show everyone that move that you did to start it off? Here it is. Yeah, nailed it. Good job. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very great. So let's see, Samantha, this is your second year at NTS, right?
Hello.
Yeah, so feel free to get up close. Hey, so this is your second year at NTS, and you're a senior, graduating senior.
I am.
Sad.
I know.
Which makes her only 10 years younger than the others.
All right.
Oh, what did I just do? I can't believe I said
You
that.
think it would get old for Joe? It doesn't. Yeah, why do that dark period of the joke, and then it gets funny again?
See, Christopher wasn't even here this year. He's hysterical.
So back to you, Sam.
Hi.
So you're off to where next year?
I am off to Muhlenberg College
Muhlenberg College.
in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
So not too far.
No, I'm an hour and 15 minutes away. Road trip.
So we're planning that already. Can you tell me some of your highlights of camp?
Well, one of my highlights, let's see. Well, first was this video because it was all really, really funny. But the best though was when Magoo goes, "Look up," and award-winning dancer.
I loved her woo at the end. That was my favorite.
Do you want me to give like emotional highlights or like happy highlights?
Why don't we start with a happy one?
Happy.
I think I brought the room down with that Finn comment earlier. So yeah,
Yeah, no
All right,
kidding.
serious. A happy highlight. Well, I went on a bike ride. And so, all right, so there's this thing called open rec. So what you do is we've got like team comp, so we like compete against everyone and we do all this stuff. And then we go to open rec. And so open rec, you can either sit around and sleep like Rachel did, or you can like participate in activities. You could dance behind people like Cameron Harris, stuff like that. But
There's volleyball, dodgeball.
yes, octoball, stuff like that. But so what Kristen, me, and Kiera decided to do was take a bike ride. What we didn't realize is that it was the worst decision we would ever make. So Kiera had a great time. I was miserable. So my bike had a wire underneath the seat that kept on cutting into my leg. And so halfway through the bike ride, I stopped biking, got off the bike, and realized my leg was bleeding. So it was gushing down, like there was blood dripping down my leg.
It's supposed to be a happy comment.
Well, the happy memory is that Kristen just bike, even though it would like cause her to bleed, she just got on and gave me her bike. And then her bike also had a wire that her legs didn't feel, but mine did. And then we got off the bike ride, and it was great though. Good times.
Oh, yeah, it turned out funny. What about, you said you had an emotional highlight?
Well, this week I became super close with the middle school boys. Or I did. I don't know if they became close to me, but I did. And so for me, what was awesome is on one day, can I talk about this? On Wednesday? Yeah. On Wednesday, over 115 people gave their lives to Christ while we were at the Mix. And it was amazing. But what was so amazing for me is that I believe it was just 4 of you guys. Five of them. I meant like, but then it was 5, yeah. Of the boys gave their lives to Christ as well. And I started crying as soon as I turned around to go like look at Micah, and I didn't see Micah. And so me and Fox are like, where's Micah? And then we see Micah being like the second person giving their lives to Christ. And I get really emotional. But so it was just a very, very awesome time, and I was so proud of the boys, and yeah.
And you said that you had so much fun that next year, what are you considering?
Next year, I'm considering being an intern at MTS. If you guys end up going back, I'm going to talk to the guy with the Michigan stuff on.
Awesome.
All the time. So yeah.
Very cool. Samantha Narciso, ladies and gentlemen. Our next guest, you may know her. She's small and mighty. Sarah Wilkins, come on up. Back over.
Up until 2 last night.
You were or you weren't?
I was.
Oh. Did you get a lot of sleep this week, though?
I got some sleep.
I know Becky's not in the room, right?
No.
She did not get a lot of sleep. Apparently the people above her were like having furniture wars. So everyone noticed all the red that was in all the photos and all. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, red was the color to be, I believe. We were red, and that's why it was the color to be. There were
Hey, you're losing.
yellow, blue, and green. We're not trying to mean you're losing. Hey, you're losing. Woo!
That was from our camp cheer that we'll talk about in a little while. But that came out excellent, and that was stuck in everyone's head for a long time. No, not necessarily. We'll get to that.
We had a good time with Lee.
Excellent. Just being together, small group time.
Together, our small group time.
Well, could you talk about small groups? What was that about?
Absolutely. So each night after this community time called the Mix, where we have worship, going through in our lives, and how to do good support for one another.
It's a great reminder. Sarah Wilkins. Our next guest. We'll wait a second. What? Instead of streaming back over every time. All right. You do it so smoothly. Our next guest, I know quite well. Some say we share the same last name. Lance Svendsen. Come on up. Hi, welcome.
Great to be back here, thank you.
Yeah, second year. This is awesome.
A drink from my mug with nothing in it.
We gotta pretend.
If you guys want one of these in the gift shop, they're available in the back.
$45 each.
So later, so Lance's
gotta make
face
money
on it.
Yeah. So, Samantha alluded to this team cheer, or was it Sarah? One of them. Could you talk a little bit about that, and then we actually have a clip that we'll show from it.
Yes, at the end of the week, all the teams were encouraged to make up a team cheer.
And cheer.
So it was an elaborate dance, choreographed, kind of, dance around, be silly kind of thing. So
But the rules explicitly said cheer.
So we took it upon ourselves, specifically Joe and Sam, to write a cheer saying how great red was, with the themes of Les Mis and a Coca-Cola song that we would all know and love. So we did a really great job with that. But then some of the other teams created like a soundtrack, and they had like professional choreographers, and they practiced at their church like months before they ever came to camp. So it was a little biased.
And they're in their 40s.
What did you say?
There was no cheer.
To music. They didn't have the spirit we had.
They didn't cheer at all. There was no cheering. They got ripped off.
Before we actually get to watch the video, I want to say how proud I was of all of you since I led this year.
Yeah, awesome job.
How encouraged I was with all of our Renaissancers that actually put in like the effort and had a good attitude the whole time. I know some of the other churches were more concerned with like holding their girlfriends' hands than singing and having a good attitude. So I really commend you for that. And during the more serious times, like our small groups, I commend you for like talking to some of the younger girls that you didn't know and really being vulnerable during the worship time. So I feel like a mother when I say that, but I'm like really proud and like even happier like seeing some of the other churches, which we talked about, have some duds, you know, they're not interested in being there at all.
They're leaders.
You guys do not give attitudes at all, and it makes me really happy and proud to work here at Elevate because I can be with you guys, you know.
All right, so we have the clip of the team cheer,
Yes.
which is now on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So feel free to share this on Facebook or
Original
whatnot.
score written by the Narciso clan, and then we came up with a dance together, right?
Yeah, so Kara, you feel free to talk us through this.
All right. So we started off with a song based on the Coca-Cola song from the 70s.
I'd like to teach you all to sing in perfect harmony.
Jackie!
I'd like you to give the candle and tea.
I know we got a lot of the judges to smile and they were clapping for us, but honestly the judging part was a little biased because their own representatives voted for their own team. So we're not going to say anything about that. But we came in third.
We got chipped! Just say it! We got rid of
It was a great cheer, so I'm proud of everyone that participated. Don't be disappointed with yourself for that. We did a great job. And no one knows what we got when we look back on it in 5 years. You'll just remember the good memories you created. So again, very proud of all of you guys for having a wonderful attitude. So thank you for having me on the show. It's been an honor.
It's great having you. All right. Our next guests are not aware that they're coming up. We have Sweet Caroline and Brooke Murphy. Hey, welcome. So they didn't know that I called them up here. Can you explain this Christian camp phenomenon, covert dancing?
Okay, so basically, we would find someone who was not paying attention at all, and then we would dance behind them.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. You want to expand on it, Sweet Caroline? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. Do we have this clip?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy. This one got played at the beginning of one of the big camps, the big camp sessions. There was like 500-600 people there, and we made this video one night, and then I emailed it to them, and this is how they opened up the session. So this is covert dancing. It's good. Wait for it.
Joy hit, you just can't sit. Gotta get with it. That's it. Now, honey, come ride. KNY, all up in my mind. Got a rider, bag with a rider. Stop it. To your friend, Lance Sven. Everybody looking at me, glancing at the kid. Wishing he was dancing the jig. Kid with his handsome kid, sick a cigar.
That's one of the leaders of the camp.
Just bite it. For the look, I don't like it. He'll wait for that. I hold the hands, stay open. Keep it up, you make it feel like an orphan. Yo, my car is St. Bennett.
Who's that?
Get happy with it.
I didn't know. No. This is the gym bike guy. Watch her walk away. Boom.
Get jiggy with it. What? You want to ball with the kids?
And then we step our game up.
Trying to do what I did. Mama, I'm a couple times.
He always comes around to play dodgeball. Get him. This is the leader of the camp. Sorry,
I got the fever for the finger of a crowd. DJ play another.
You could not get the leader of the camp. Well done. Who did you guys have a camp highlight you'd like to share? All of it. All of it? That's pretty good. Okay, well thank you for coming up and explaining covert dancing. There's actually another video that's posted, or will be posted online, of the leader of the camp getting Brooke back. It's very, very good. Yeah.
I love how angry Caroline looks when she covers.
She was aggressive. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So next we have Malcolm and Micah. We got
Merry Christmas.
Happy birthday.
These guys are celebrities.
Oh yeah, these two heroes were part
You did
of
a nice job, Josh.
my mine and Joe's small group.
Yeah, nice
and
job,
they
you
absolutely became celebrities of camp. The other one that became a celebrity was Foxwell. Foxwell, why don't you come up here also? Ian Foxwell, everyone. Put Joe off the couch.
I'm Foxwell.
You can hang on to that. So, do you guys want to explain the talent? Or what do you want to do? Actually, why don't I explain it so it gets the timing right? So, they have this thing at the end of the week called The Talent, which is simply a talent show. So we're all trying to rack our brains. I think last year we didn't get, was there anyone in our, I think there was anyone. This year we entered 2 acts. We entered Sharky Caulfield. If you guys are on Instagram, you get to see her sing, and it is phenomenal. She sings a song, Nobody's Got It All Together, and the girl had it all together. She did awesome. So good. 2 of the high school boys next to me from different camps saying, you guys are so lucky that you get to have her sing at your youth group. I was like, heck yeah, we are. Those are high school boys. Yeah.
Hey.
It's seriously great. Check it out on Instagram. But we also have these 2 jokers. They have special talents. Mike, Malcolm, what can you do?
Solve a Rubik's Cube in under a minute.
Yeah. And then we have Micah. Micah, what do you do?
The yo-yo.
The yo-yo. It's a little bit more impressive than you think. And just
It's
walk the dog.
really
I
impressive.
can do. But, Angie, do we have that clip ready? We can start about halfway through.
No, we gotta see Magic Mike.
Yeah, it's a little long. So, our hype man is Magic Mike. He's from the other team.
No, from the other church.
From the other church, yeah. You can skip. All right. Let's skip ahead once it goes. That act is called
Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds. This is in front of the entire camp. Please note Malcolm's eye shirt. Powerful, pro-breathing purpose. Angie, is it possible to skip ahead a little bit? All right, let's skip ahead. Just a little bit. So that went on for a little while longer. Then we have the judges' comments, and they loved them. Can we skip ahead and have the judges' comments?
It's right there.
No, get rid of it. Do you want to give the judges' comments? All right, leave it on.
Dude, as soon as the Star Wars movie started playing, that is my favorite movie of all time. So I love the swagger, I love the attitude. You're young, you're brash.
These guys are celebrities at camp.
Combine
They
that.
signed autographs, like for real, they signed autographs, they had photos taken with them. Girls just wanted to touch them. I'm serious.
Wow, that was amazing. I just really love the yo-yo, and that's pretty impressive. So I can't do that.
And this guy, his whole goal is to be funny. He misses on this
Next thing
one.
is trying to yo-yo the Rubik's Cube.
Silence.
That's
Nice
what
try.
you're really good at, right there. And then, with the bow tie, and then do it to the song Cups.
What song?
Because they would go really far off stage.
He gets booed right after, I think.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Look at that. Yeah, it works. They were absolute celebrities that whole time. So we would get points throughout the week for different things. Like for our field games, we would get points. We also played Octoball, did we not?
Yes.
And how did we do in Octoball?
I got us into the finals.
Wait, did you say you did?
Yes.
Okay, Foxwell got our team into the finals. And what we got? We took second place, right?
Yeah, we got second.
We got second place. That's really good. There was like 100 teams in that thing.
Especially since you were playing against grown men.
It was very good.
He's
Also-
12 years old. They were playing against guys this size of
13.
It doesn't matter. He's not 35. That's the point.
So we would get points for everything that we did, and after Malcolm's and Micah's victory in the talent, on Thursday night we were in first place.
Yeah.
Because of these 2 gentlemen right here. Let's give it up for them again one more time. You guys have highlights you guys want to mention? Why do I prep these kids? All right. Foxwell, what about you? What about your buddy? I think everyone knows.
I have decided that I am Foxwell.
Angie, do we have the... Nope, okay.
Moving right along.
No, not that one. Yeah.
Them walking down the thing. Oh, I took that picture.
Foxwell had a love interest that was pretty much camp gossip, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So go see him afterwards if you want to. Guys, the middle school boys, give them a hand. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. We have 2 more people that we'd like to come up right now. Natalie Zagorski and Christine Poor.
Before we leave the subject of the middle school boys, do you want to mention anything about like the trees and
Gum.
and those gum?
Where's Grayson? Where's Grayson? Grayson, stand up. You guys don't know Grayson. You should. There we go. He's also in our small group. We gave out awards at the end of camp. And does anyone remember Grayson's award?
Most gum eaten off a tree.
Most gum. Owen has gum trees where people just literally stick gums to trees. And I'm sorry to tell you his parents, but he ate the most. So you should be very proud. He took an award home for it.
The most is one.
One is enough. Yeah, you're gonna win if you eat one. Well done. All right, so here we have Natalie and Christine. This is both your guys' second year at NTS.
No, Christine's first.
It's Christine's first year at NTS. Natalie's second. So you guys had some times that were pretty cool. You guys want to talk a little bit about the alone time? That we had something for the first year called Alone Time with God, which was exactly as it sounds. But Christine, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So after the chat rooms and youth group time every day, we had Alone Time with God. Some people just call it quiet time, and we would read a couple of different passages in John that followed what was in the night session, and we would answer questions on our own about it, and also just spend a lot of time praying. Lance emphasized the fact that we should sometimes just spend a lot of time in silence, kind of listening for God's answers, and it was, I think, a really good time for all of us to just focus on the Word and on our personal relationships with God, as opposed to all the relationships that we were building with everyone else during the other time during the week.
And this is the first year that I think they did that, and it was certainly my favorite time every day. Most of the times I journaled. Sometimes one of the days I just sat and looked at clouds. It was perfect and just prayed. So that was really cool for me. And then Natalie, you want to talk a little bit about the night sessions, and then you can focus on Wednesday night.
Sorry. Okay. So every night we went to the chapel, and it was called the Mix, and there was worship music. Sam really liked the band, like the guitar player, but we thought a lot should have been the band. We won't talk about that right now. Anyway, yeah, so there was music and then a lesson with the main speaker. And on Wednesday night, 115 kids committed their lives to God. That was pretty awesome.
And how did they do it? What did they do?
You had an opportunity to go up to the mic and say, "My life is yours." Yeah, some people did it.
That was really cool watching.
I did do that.
Natalie, you were one of those people?
I was.
It was
sweet.
And then Christine, what was your experience that night, just being able to watch everyone?
It was just really emotional for all of us. When the speaker was still explaining what was going to happen, the first guy who wanted to say it was already walking down. He literally almost ran down to the mic and said, "My life is yours." And it was just so overwhelming to see all those people committing their lives to Christ, especially the fact that all these were teenagers. And I mean, I just started crying. I know a lot of other people did. So it was just a really special experience. I felt honored to get to witness all those people commit their lives to Christ.
It was a really cool thing to watch.
And the second person to go up was Micah. Which I came up to because I was sitting in the back, and I came up and I see that boy was literally running to the microphone, and I looked at our guys and Mike is going to the front. And I started hysterical. Yeah. I was hysterical, Ryan. And then 5 of our 6 boys went up, and then I turned around and they were crying, and Samantha was crying. It was really powerful.
That's when Natalie started crying. Wait, what?
I saw you hugging them, and that's when I started crying.
And it's weird, I'm an emotional rock most of the time. And then one last thing, Natalie, can you explain what we did as a group the last night?
So the last night we did foot washing. I don't know, if any of you don't know what it is, it sounds really weird at first. Because you're like washing someone's sweaty feet. You're like, who wants to do that? You have to kneel in the wet grass. I'm like, what? But then you realize it's like, then you realize it's not about yourself, and it's a really humbling experience. And you do it to show love or appreciation for the person that you're washing their feet. And it was a time you could apologize to anyone or tell them how much you appreciated them or whatever. So that was really great.
Yeah, and for example, like you go up to someone and say, I'm really sorry I did this, or I really appreciate. Like Lance washed my feet, told me how much he appreciated me, and I told him the same. And I walked up to my daughter and I kissed her on the forehead and I said, "I'm not washing your feet."
Raise your hand if you wash somebody's feet. That's pretty cool. Cool, very good. Thank you, ladies. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Give it up for them. All right, guys, thank you so much for all those guests that come up, or that came up. Now, we'll wrap up with a little bit of a message. Let me move this. You can just get that out of the way. So obviously, we had a wonderful time at camp. It was, last year I thought was great, and this year it topped it. So I'm so glad that you guys were able to come, and that we were able to share some of our experiences with everyone else. So if you didn't get to go to camp and you kind of want to know more about it, we showed you a lot of this stuff. But there's more stuff on Facebook, or grab someone else. But a lot of you guys have been to camps, like in general. And the great thing about camp is that it leaves you on like this emotional high, doesn't it? Like you come out of camp and you're going to conquer the world, and you're going to read the Bible cover to cover, even Revelations, and just like, and you're going to understand it all, and it's going to be awesome. But the bad thing about camp is that you eventually have to come down from that high, right? And like everyone who's been to camp, like you guys have all experienced that thing. But even the people that haven't been to camp, like you guys have Sunday mornings where you have this emotional high, and like you're praising God, maybe your hands are up, maybe you're not comfortable doing that, but like, and there was moments you have it all figured out. Like you know what you need to do, you know what you need not to do, like in those times it's just wonderful. But then of course you have the times it just leaves and you come down from that high. And I was talking to some of our boys, and one of them said to me like, well, what do I do when I no longer have that feeling, right? Because that's exactly what it is. It's that like feeling, and you have to try and think of it as like this momentum. Because if you think of it as just like